Nana Jokum Gamna, Head of Civil Service of Ghana. I've been here since January 2014. But I've been working in the civil service close to it's about 29 years.
My name is John Obin Esidu. I'm the Director for Research, Statistics and Information Management at the Ministry of Roads and Highways. We are responsible for, as I said, research, statistics, collect data for the ministry and its agencies, and also ensure information management within this sector ministry.
I am Balika Edmund Mwinbamo, a staff of the Ministry of Roads and Highways, and I work with the Research, Statistics and Information Management Directorate. I am the Assistant Engineer, and I've been staff of the service since 2014, that's 2 years now. But in my current position as Assistant Engineer, I've been here since March 2016.
My name is BRIDGET KATSRIKU. I'm the Chairman of the Public Services Commission, and indeed, I have worked in both the public service and the civil service for over 40 years. And I've had varied experiences throughout my service. I have worked in the ministries of Employment and Social Welfare. I have also worked in the Ministry of Tourism as the Chief Director. And I was also the one who set up the Ghana AIDS Commission. So I have worked in both the public service and the civil service. Currently, I'm here as the chairman of the Public Services Commission, and now looking at the entire public service and not the civil service alone.
My name is Irene Messiva, and I'm a Deputy Director with the Ministry of Transport. And I joined the service in 2001 until June 2014. I was with the Ministry of Local Government. So currently I'm with the Policy and Planning Directorate of the Ministry of Transport.
We are looking at what an improved civil service can bring into the public service and by extension service delivery in the country, in Ghana. It's something that cannot be conceived, because what we're seeing is if the wrong policies are formulated, if the implementation strategies are not well thought out, if the monitoring and evaluation is not effective, then obviously those who are even not in the service but are implementing will not be delivering properly. Furthermore, we have also, you can see that most of the reforms that are in the public service usually start from the civil service. In other words, when we take the appropriate lead and we exemplify excellence, it tends to affect the other services.
Specifically, how I go about my work starts in the morning when I come. I get to the office latest 7:30, 8 o'clock a.m. Then I go straight to, we have a server room where all the systems are connected to. So I go to the server room to ensure that the server is up and running. Then we have a website. I check the website to make sure it's also up and running. We have wireless services in the house users are connected to. So I make sure I check that every system it's up and running before I come to my desk to sit down. Then whilst I sit down, most of my work have to do with customer-client relating. So a client calls wanting you to assist them solve a problem. So I just troubleshoot with them over the phone. If it is something they can quickly solve by the solutions I provide or I give them, fine. If not so, then I go to their office practically with them to solve it.
The way that work is done, currently I'm about the only engineer. I double as an engineer as well as an IT person in the directorate. So to get work done, I interface with our director and then the IT staff. So in a regular day, what I do is I come in very early. Latest by 8, I'm in the office. I sit down, get through the items that I need to do or the tasks that I need to do within the day, and I have my to-do list. So I then clear up my mind and prioritize those tasks that need doing, so that I can set myself to them early in the day. In the same way, I then communicate with the other staff that are under me that the things that they also need to be working on. So for example, the ICT staff are supposed to ensure that all the routers we have are working. They're supposed to ensure that all the staff have internet connectivity, and so they must ensure that the servers are on in the server room so that workers can get their job.
We have a number of staff and we distribute the tasks according to the various modes of transport that we have in the ministry. For instance, we have the aviation, we have the maritime, we have the railways, we have the road transport services. Each staff within the unit is assigned to at least one of the modes, and then specific tasks are assigned within the modes for them to achieve.
Okay, basically we liaise with the policy planning units and the research information department because it's one big directorate. And what we basically do is collate our sector agencies' performance reports. It comes to our directorates and we put them together and bring out a report for the ministry and for the minister.
In the Ministry of Transport, I'll say that the Policy and Planning Directorate is a technical directorate of the ministry. And as the name states, policy and planning, basically we develop the ministry's plans, the ministry's policies. Also, we prepare the ministry's budget. And these assignments are not individual assignments. Most of the time, when we have to prepare a budget or we have to prepare the sector plan or a policy, a tax team is constituted. So we come up with our own work plan or an action plan. We share the task among the officers. We give ourselves timelines, and then we start working. So we have the individuals undertaking their own tasks. Then from time to time we meet to see where we are, collate the information, and then we move on.
In my division, I have 2 statisticians and 2 database management officers. And then I have 2 administrative officers and myself. And I have job description for everybody. We all have schedules. So all the staff under me knows what they are expected to do. And they report weekly, and we meet monthly to evaluate our performance for the month.
Concentrate much on pre-tertiary education in this unit. We only collaborate with the tertiary unit to give us data which we run as part of the MES for the main ministry.
Statistics unit is actually the powerhouse of the ministry. Powerhouse in the sense that the data needed for planning and day-to-day management of education in Ghana is produced by us. And so that is basically what we do. And we make sure that data is available for every planner, researcher, or all the institutions and stakeholders that are interested in data.
It's normally what is minuted to you that you work on a normal day-to-day work. So at the end of the day, whatever comes from my chief director to my director, and if it is something that is in line with the duties that I'm supposed to do in the office, it's assigned to me and I work on them.
Everybody has been given job schedules, but then on a normal day-to-day activities, it is usually emanates from the Chief Director's office. It depends on the kind of mails that you get within a day. And depending on which schedule each person is supposed to handle, I emanate it to the person. And the person will do, if it's a response to something, they will do a draft. I will see the draft. If I have to sign, I sign. If it has to go to the Chief Director, we forward it to the Chief Director for his signature.
We take a lot of discretionary decisions. One, if they have to give an end user support, normally what they do is that they can talk to the end user on phone. If the problem is not addressed, then they don't need my permission or the next supervisor's permission. They will just go there and address the issue so that that officer or that office can get whatever problem solved immediately. If you are deviating, then we bring everybody back online. Because at times, they may be doing acts that may not help us, especially during our research data collection, for example. So then you can review the process and then bring them back online.
Basically, they give you discretion, but the discretion is limited. If approval is required, you are supposed to seek the necessary authority to approve. But for areas that do not need approval, but just require efficiency or productivity in the work of staff members, then you are given a level of discretion to do that. I think there was an instance again where I was asked directly by my boss to come out with tax for the IT staff so that there's no overlap or duplication of duties. And so what I did was to go and discuss with them, look at areas that are best suited to work, because each of them have different skill sets. So you need to engage them and see what exactly can one do best so that we align the tax to tally with those skills that they have. So we did that interaction with them, and then went to my boss, presented the findings, and then we came out with some form of a solution and distributed the tax to the staff.
You would know that for the civil service, we have our rules and procedures. But in any case, if there's something which is novel and maybe you have an idea about it, you can discuss with your direct superior. If we're talking about me personally, I'll discuss with my director, and then if she approves of it, then it's done.
You know, in the civil service, most of our activities are regulated. So they know the procedure, what they are supposed to do. For instance, if it's a leave, somebody's request, the officer knows the procedure he's supposed to follow. You are supposed to pick the person's file, check whether the person has even enjoyed the leave that he's asking for. You do all that before you issue the letter based on the person's request. It passes through me. Those that I'm supposed to sign, I sign. Those that are supposed to go to the Chief Director, it does.
It depends on where the assignment is going, but anything they do, they have to send to me for me to look at it. Mm-hmm. If it's an internal thing, yes, sometimes you overlook some of the things, but when it's going outside, you have to make sure that it's looked at critically. Mm. Yeah, so it depends on where the assignment is going and what kind of discretion you give to the officer. Mm-hmm.
Sometimes the Chief Director will ask you to do something specific, but then that is also on your discretion. As to how to do it, he can tell you, I need this data, okay? I need this projection. He can tell you, do it this way for me. It is what he needs that he tells you, and then you come and sit down and reason it out, how to approach, and then get that information for the end user.
Most of the time, we are allowed, because it's a technically inclined division, and so we are allowed to do our work on our own with minimum supervision. But we are always in direct contact with our director to be able to feed in, for him to know what we are doing at any stage. But basically, we are on our own. We exercise our discretion to be able to carry out our mandate.